13 here, and this is the video that I told you guys I would make yesterday. Now, unfortunately, I tried to shoot this on my iPad, being that that's the only good-ish camera that I have right now. And unfortunately, it didn't work. I'm having issues with the iPad. The whole first unboxing video of this thing did not work. You already know if you're looking at the title, though, that this is, in fact, the Nitecore EC4S 2150 Lumen LED flashlight. This thing is a beast. And I will say, I'm sorry. I was gonna try to reshoot the, because it was really early on in the process of the unboxing video when the camera it stopped working. So I figured, okay, I can try to reshoot, but I got too excited, and so I just tore into it, man. But I do want to give you my first thoughts, and by the end of this week, hopefully, I can give you a beam shot video and some distance shots. So the flashlight, now I have pretty small hands, okay? But I would say that, and we're going to get exact with this, actually. I can get pretty exact. Alright. I got me tape measure. You can look up the dimensions online, but I'm giving you my hand width, right? So it looks like my hand is like just under 3.5 inches wide, okay? We'll just say it's exactly 3.5 inches, okay? So that's 3.5 inches wide, alright? And there's the flashlight, okay? And there's the head of the flashlight. So it's really nice in the hand for sure. It's not heavy at all. The grip and the shape is excellent. And being a solid piece of aluminum too, it feels really nice in the hand. I know a lot of flashlights, they rattle a lot when you shake them. As you can tell, I'm shaking this pretty hard and I'm getting nothing out of this, okay? Most of the flashlights, even the batteries rattle. Now the batteries do rattle a little bit in here. I'm not sure if it's because I'm not using Nitecore batteries. Because I was not real keen on spending, basically because I wanted to have a backup set of batteries too. So if I was gonna go with Nitecore batteries, I would have ended up spending like $60-$70 on 4 batteries, okay? And they're about, it takes the 18650s. And so it would have taken $36 for a pair of the 3400 milliamp hour batteries, and that would be a total of $70 basically. When you're said and done with everything, for 4 batteries. I really couldn't justify that, so I went with the best non-major brand batteries out there, which are some of the EBLs, and from reviews I've read online and friends of mine and other people and certain YouTube videos, I've determined that these are probably the best non-major branded 18650s out there. Now, on there, they're labeled as 3000 milliamp hour. In all likelihood, these are probably more around 2800. But either way, that's still pretty good. And Nitecore makes a 2600 or 2800 milliamp hour battery, and I can tell you for sure that it's not $20 for 6. I mean, I got a really good deal on these. I got 6 of these. Now this is the case, by the way, that came with the flashlight. I'm gonna macro in so you guys can read this. It says tactical organizer on it. Now it's a Lumen tactical organizer. This is the battery case that came with the flashlight, but I also got cases with the batteries. The batteries came in cases, so I got a total of 4 cases now for the two battery cases. All right, as you can see here. So I got 1, 2, and then I got the one that came with the flashlight. So all in all, this has been so good. And then In terms of the charger, well, I opted to go the Nitecore route. So I have, and it's charging the other two batteries that I have right now, the Nitecore i4 intelligent charger. All right, and I don't remember what I paid, but I remember looking at this, and this being a pretty cheap option in terms of, I mean, when compared to how much the batteries were marked up for the Nitecore batteries, this wasn't as much. And this charger has gotten nothing but good reviews. It's very good quality from what I've read. And so I was like, you know what? I'll just go with the charger because I can always get the batteries later, but if I get the charger, I'll have at least a good charger for my batteries, even if they're not the highest quality batteries. So far so good. It charges fast. I mean, the batteries came pretty dead, and I think it took like an hour maybe to charge them up. So it wasn't real slow at all. It doesn't get that hot, and it keeps things, and it does seem to be regulated nicely. But all in all, I'm really happy with this flashlight. This is mainly going to be for me when I'm working on client vehicles, when I'm working on my own car, doing mechanical repairs, that sort of thing. Really, all the times that I've been like, damn, I wish I had a flashlight, and then I ended up using my phone, which just never is good enough. I mean, I'll give you an example here. Let me grab my phone. All right, so let's say I'm in the engine bay of my car. I'm looking at something. Let's say I'm trying to find a bad accessory bearing that's causing a pulley wobble and ultimately a belt chirp. Okay, so I'm trying to see which one's wobbling the most. So and it's dark outside or whatever. So I'm like, okay, shit, I need a light, right? I pull this thing out. Okay, that's not bad. But remember, it's designed to disperse light widely so that it's evenly lighting an entire, area, right? So you get, when you take a picture, you don't just see a spotlight on some dude's face. You see the entire scene lit up. So, I got that, which is alright, but it never is very bright. And especially on this iPhone 5, it's not even as bright as when I had my iPhone 6 Plus before it stopped working. Well, I'm going to give you the turbo mode on this bad boy, right? Ready? So this is this, alright? Boom, son! Look at that! Look at that, dude! I cannot, it's not even registering. So, I'll shut it off now. Yeah, it completely overwhelms my camera sensor. Now, to be fair, it's a pretty terrible camera, okay? But, even that being said, this is impossibly bright. And you saw that strobe function. That is an easy way to overwhelm an attacker. So, I'm not saying, hey, if you concealed carry, it's time to start carrying flashlights. That's not what I'm saying, okay? So for anyone who out there who carries a weapon, gun owners, whatever, don't get mad at me, all right? I'm just saying, if you don't carry a gun and you don't carry a knife and you're not particularly great at fighting, and you're gonna have a flashlight on you anyway, why not have a bright one that also has a really good strobe function? It's real easy to access, and that is what I wanted to go over next. How to use these buttons. So, I'm only going to do this once because macroing in on this camera is really stupid because it doesn't have an autofocus. So, it requires me to manually adjust the lens. So, I'm going to macro in once to show you the layout of the buttons on here, and then afterwards I'm just going to say power button and menu selection button or menu button, and you should understand what I mean. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. So this button right here is towards the bottom of the flashlight, and that's the power button, and that is the menu/selection button. Okay, and that's towards the top. All right. So to power on, okay, first I'll show you the shortcuts. The shortcuts to the light. So, as you know, the light, or maybe you don't, the light has the following modes. It has ultra low, low, medium, high, and turbo. Okay? So it has shortcuts to both turbo and ultra low. So ultra low is 2 lumens, and turbo is 2,150 lumens. All right. So to get to ultra low, press and hold the power button. Okay, that's ultra low. And as you can see, by the fact that I'm not going blind right now, this is very low. It also, according to Nitecore, being so low, I'm pretty sure will allow, I'm going to go through the chart real quick. Ultra low gives you 2 lumens, but it has a runtime on two 18650s of over 320 hours. So 325 hours of runtime on that, maximum runtime. So that's pretty impressive, okay? But, you know, not a lot of light. But if you're trapped in a cave or somewhere and you want to have some light, you know, that's probably your best bet. Definitely. Okay, we'll shut that off. To get to turbo, you hold the menu button, which is the top one, and there you go, turbo. Once again, that overwhelming 2150 lumen madness. And then you shut that off again. Now I'm going to go into memory. So when you select, first of all, I'll go into how you select modes rather. So when you just press the power button, like a single tap, it goes into the last memorized setting. And in this case, the last memorized setting was the turbo mode. To cycle through the different modes, you hit the menu button while the light is on. So it's on turbo, and it will cycle back starting with the lowest and go back up. So it'll go to the next, which is the lowest. So now, as you can see, it's on ultra low, low. Oh, I'm going to tilt it so you can see what I'm talking about. Low, medium, high, and turbo. And then it goes back. The memory settings, and I'm going to leave it on ultra low. The memory will remember the last thing you had it on. So if I leave it on ultra low and I turn it off and I turn it back on, it's going to come back to ultra low. The only thing that overrides that is when you go to one of the shortcuts. So if you go to a shortcut since I'm on ultra low, it's not going to make a difference. But if I go to a shortcut, I turn the light off, I go to a shortcut for turbo, alright, boom, and then I shut the light off, it's going to now come back to turbo, as you can see. So I'll have to cycle back if I want ultra low. To get into your strobe functions, you want to have the light on. As you can see, it's on, and then you're going to tap and hold the menu button. So there's single tactical strobe or regular strobe. You tap and hold it again, and this is beacon, as you can see. And then if I tap and hold again, it's SOS. And from what I understand, these only output in maximum brightness. So, and then you can go ahead and tap and hold again to go back to the original mode it was in, or you can hit the power button. Now, when the light is off, if you want to instantly access strobe, right? You want to instantly get to strobe. So let's say you're some dude try to jump you or whatever, and you need to blind him in the face and you know, give him a kick in the nuts and run, right? Well, what you want to do is always know this beforehand. You know, don't be like, well, I gotta look it up on YouTube so I know how to do it, and while you're running away from. No, okay, just figure this out. It's like a piece of cake, right? So what you want to do is take the flashlight in your hand and find the menu button and basically double tap the menu button. Boom, instant strobe, and then tap it again to turn it off. Pretty simple stuff. And as you can see, none of the strobe or special modes change the memory function of the light. So as you can see, it's still on ultra low. there's another thing where, let's say you have this in a bag or a purse or your pocket. Now the pocket, I don't think it's likely to accidentally activate, but again, I don't know what's in your pockets. So, and also it's really not going to fit unless you have very large pockets or, like, I like to wear cargo shorts, so if you got like big pockets, like cargo pockets, that might work. But a regular pocket, front or back, is really not going to be ideal for this. It'll probably scratch it up. I mean, I'm not sure if you care about that, but more importantly, it's just going to be uncomfortable, right? It's going to stick into your leg and stuff, and it might fall out because your pocket's not deep enough. It's I would say right at that annoying size, and I don't mean this is an annoying light anyway, but it's in a size where it's not big enough to be like, oh, okay, that's not a light I want to carry every day. But it's also not at a size where it's like, damn, that's the perfect size to carry every day. So that was probably the one thing that I was really hoping, like, it was going to be a little bit shorter or whatever. But, to overall, I'm still really happy with the size of this, given how much output I get out of it. Yes, so I had a point. Sorry, I'm really tired, so I'm a little loopy and I'm probably forgetting things. Right, locking out the switches. So all you got to do is both the power and the menu button, the selection button, press and hold until it gives you a little blip. And then when it gives you a little blip, as you can see, it is locked out. And this is good, like I said, if you got it in a bag or a purse or something like that. You don't want to have your light coming on and wasting your battery and all that. And then to undo that, you just press and hold the buttons again. And you can do this even with your thumb. I'm doing it with 2 fingers because it's easier for me. But you can do this with one finger just over both buttons. So press and hold both buttons. As you can see, it's now come on to the last memorized setting. There you go. The last thing I'd like to say is, let's see, if you want to check the battery level. So when you put in the batteries, it'll give you this as well. But unlike some of the other Nitecore lights, which I actually don't like, because those have a specific voltage reading system, this appears to just have a power indicator, which is not as precise. So if you want to know the power level in the batteries, you just you just tap the menu button temporarily, momentarily, and you'll see 1 to 3 blinks of the blue LED in the power switch. This indicates if it's all 3, that means charge is over 50%. If you see just 2, that means it's under 50%. Let's see. And when you get 1, that's when it's really close to dead. So here you go. 1, 2, 3. So these are fresh batteries, so I know they're good. But I still feel like that's a little bit of a wide margin, to be fair, because above 50%, that's I mean, come on, it could be 51%, right? So and then that leaves you with only 51% of your battery. So I think that's still a wide range for sure of depletion that you can't really measure. That I know on some of the other Nitecores, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that some of the other Nitecores, when you put the battery in, you'll get a blink indicating the voltage of the battery. So you get 3 blips if it's 3 volts, and then it'll stop for a second, and then it'll give you another set of blips, and then it'll count out after the first decimal place, so you can get up to 1/10 of a volt basically. So it'll say like 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, 1, 2, and then gives you a total voltage of 4.2 volts, right? Which is nice because I think what this is it's meant to be user friendly. So if you got a dude who's never or a girl who's never used a flashlight before, and then also isn't familiar with 18650 batteries, and doesn't know what kind of voltage you're supposed to get out of them, that might be it. Now also the thing is though, I guess on these, because the batteries are in series, that may be why, because the voltage might vary And so therefore, I think also if you have the CR123s, I'm not sure what voltage CR123s are, but that might be a thing too, because these batteries are in series, they're essentially doubling the voltage, all right, and you're not doubling the capacity, because if they're in parallel, you'd be keeping the same voltage but at a higher capacity. So that might be it, where it might confuse people, where it says like 8 volts or whatever, and they're like, well, why is my flashlight at 8 volts? Well, it's because it's in series. So anyway, guys, in conclusion, I will say this is an excellent flashlight with excellent feel in the hand, very balanced. Tripod mount on the bottom. If I'm forgetting anything in the video, you let me know. IPX8 certified, so I'm pretty sure this is water resistant, about down to 2 meters or something like that. It doesn't actually say. Trying to figure out whether it, yep, it says IPX8 certified 2 meter submersible. So yeah, IPX8 certified stuff. They really have to give you a depth, because technically if they don't, then basically it's kind of like, well, it can mean anything. So anyway, guys, I'm really excited about this flashlight. I will give you more I'll give you a review once I've had at least a month to use it, but I'm definitely enjoying it as it is, and I will give you a night shots video tonight. I don't know if I'll be able to upload it tonight, but I'm going to film it tonight. Yeah. Anyway, guys, that has been my first look at the Nitecore EC4S 2150 Lumen LED flashlight. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, give me some likes, comments. Let me know how I'm doing in the comments. Subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Watch out for that. Look out for the night shots video with the beam distance shots and all that. And I'll see you in the